Good day to you, students. How are you doing? Today, I'll be dealing with chapter 11, thermal or heat energy transfer is the subtopic. Let's do it together. Thermal or heat energy transfer. We have to drag the following words into the correct boxes to be able to give us an analogy about how heat is transferred, or a specific definition on how heat is transferred. Let's start. Mammals are warm-blooded with a body temperature of about 35 to 40 degrees Celsius. All creatures have a way of regulating their body temperatures. They make use of different ways in which heat, moves around. That is conduction, convection, and radiation. Thermal energy is the energy transferred from a hotter place to a colder place, which is from a higher temperature to a lower temperature. So we check. That's correct. Now let's deal with conduction. We are also to drag the following words that you can see on the right into the words correct boxes. When fingers touches a metal object, it is conducted out of the finger and into the what? Metal. Because metal is a good conductor. It spreads rapidly through the metal. It continues to escape from the finger, leaving it colder than before. The temperature sensitive nerves and the fingertip tells the brain that your finger is cold. You will think you are touching something cold. When a plastic object is touched, it conducts into the area that the finger is in direct contact with. Plastic is a good insulator. The heat travels no further. The finger loses no more and remains warm. Let's check. That's correct. Now, conduction in metals and non-metals. Both metals and non-metals conduct heat. Metals are generally much better conductors than non-metals. When a glass rod is heated on one side and the other side is cold, there is a temperature difference between the two ends and it flows down the rod. What goes on inside the rod is that atoms are regularly arranged. At the hot end of the rod, the atoms vibrate a lot. At the end of the rod, the atoms vibrate much less. As the atoms heat up, they jostle and share their energies. Atoms with more energy end up with less, and those with less energy end up with more. Energy is transferred down the rod from hot to cold. With these mechanisms, poor conductors conduct heat. Let's move on. Also, still dealing with conductors in metals and non-metals, we are also to drag the following words into the correct boxes. Metals, on the other hand, are good conductors of electricity. In metals, there are electrons that move about freely. Electrons carry energy when an electric current, flows through a metal. Electrons also carry energy when heat is transferred through a metal. Liquids also conduct heat. Their particles are in close contact with one another. Although convection is important than conduction in the transfer of heat through a liquid. Let's check. That's correct. Now let's deal with convection. We are also going to be dragging what into the correct boxes. When air is heated, its density decreases and then floats. That is, it goes upwards. The rising of hot air is just one example of convection. Hot air can rise because air is a fluid, that is, it can flow. And convection is a phenomenon that can be observed in fluids. In convection, energy is transferred through a material from a warmer place to a cooler place by the movement of the material itself. Convection results from the expansion of a fluid when it is heated. Expansion means an increase in volume, while mass remains constant, which makes density to decrease. A less dense material is lighter and is pushed upwards by the surrounding denser material. Let's check. That's correct. Radiation. To define radiation also, we drag the correct words into the what? Correct boxes. Let's start. The light that reaches us from the sun and other stars travel to us through space in the form of electromagnetic radiation. This radiation travels as electromagnetic waves. Okay? Earth receives electromagnetic radiation from the sun in forms of infrared and ultraviolet. It is the surface that determines whether an object absorbs or reflects infrared radiation. A surface that is a good reflector is a poor absorber. They are also good emitters. Let's check. That's correct also. So, still dealing with radiation. Which one of these is not a consequence of thermal or heat energy transfer? We have home insulation, greenhouse effect, convection, and we keeping cool. So the correct answer is what? Greenhouse effect. Because for thermal or heat energy to take place, it happens in our homes. Cool air comes in, and hot air leaves the home. Convection also what happens when we are also keeping cool. We switch on what? a fan that makes it to come to us, that makes cool air to come to us and to leave us. So that means our correct answer is what? Greenhouse effect. So let's deal with this past question also. How does thermal energy or heat energy travel the vacuum between the earth and the sun? That is only done through what is called what? Radiation. That is the passage of electromagnetic waves or through the electromagnetic waves through what? The vacuum that is present between the earth and the sun. Now, which type of radiation lies between visible light and microwaves in the electromagnetic spectrum? If you look at the electromagnetic spectrum, the first one is what? Gamma ray. We have X-ray. After that, we now have ultraviolet, infrared, visible, before we now talk about what? Radio waves. So the correct answer here now is infrared. So let's see, can check. That's correct. So before we go today, let's check for the what? Correct statement out of these three options. Convection is the main method of thermal transfer of energy in fluids. Is that statement correct? Yes, that is true. Because if you should place, let's say, a cold water inside a kettle and you put it on a gas whereby it is what? Heated. Hot water as it is boiling comes up, while the what? Cold water what? Sink. So that is a form of what? Convection. Let's look at the other two statements also. Conduction is the main method of thermal transfer of energy in fluids. That is what? Wrong. Radiation is the main method of thermal transfer of energy in fluids. The statement is what? Wrong. Radiation can only occur and it can only pass through what? Vacuum. So the first statement is right. Let's see and check. That is true. Now, do well to subscribe onto our channel www.edubbey.com for more of our interactive notes and video. Also, check our website from time to time in order to have yourself updated about our interactive classes. Bye for now.